1075 The Game Podcasting is sponsored by Modern Exterminating, a family-oriented company. Professional, honest, and dependable pest control solutions. We're your one-stop shop for all pests.
South Carolina fans do, I think, in some ways, rightly feel like this team is still not, I don't want to say not that close to being who they can be, but considering a 13-point win and a 28-point win, there's a lot of unrest, and a lot of it may be down to just a few simple things here and there, including winning the 50-50s. Here's Shane Beamer from his press conference on what his team needs to do to make that happen.
Play the ball better. You know, it'd be one thing if Hale, if, you know, we had receivers running 5 yards past our defensive backs and we were just beat, then I'd really be concerned. Then I'd be going in there to Clayton talking about we need to call some different coverages where we don't put our defensive backs in those positions. But just like on the offensive line, sometimes guys are going to get beat. And it happened against Virginia Tech more than we wanted, for sure. But when you play one-on-one a lot like we do, man coverage, you're going to have those competitive catches, 50-50 balls. So in a lot of those instances, and even the one that the touchdown pass the other night that South Carolina State had, I mean, we're in position. We got to do a better job of playing the ball when it's in the air and playing the technique that we teach when you're in phase with the receiver and you've got a chance to play the ball, just playing it with the proper techniques. We've obviously got to coach that better, and we will. And then there's certainly things. I mean, when you're down Brandon Cisse and Judge Collier the other night, we want to be able to, I don't want to say give those DBs an opportunity to breathe, but to breathe sometimes where it's not always going to be press man up in your face man coverage. We can mix up the coverages, which I thought Clayton did a good job of the other night as well, mixing in the coverages a little bit where they're not always, you know, playing man coverage. But it's, you know, why you come here, and it's how we play football around here, is tough and aggressive on defense.
Today in the SEC coaches teleconference, the vast majority, really, they say it's unanimous. I can't tell you that all 16 coaches got this question, but they probably did, because that's how a lot of these Wednesday teleconferences work. But there was a lot of questioning today of the new transfer portal proposal that is not yet fully approved by the NCAA, but we expect it to be rubber stamped next month, and it would basically open a 10-day period between the first and second weeks of January. Open on January 2 for 10 days. It would follow the quarterfinals that will be held on New Year's Day, which means 4 schools would still be left, obviously, playing football when the portal opens. Ryan Day of Ohio State said that he was concerned about trying to assemble a roster for next year while still competing in the playoff. Brian Kelly asked about that today, said, quote, "I'm sorry, but there's no crying on the yacht. We got to get this thing set and in its best position at this time to allow us to set our rosters moving forward. I've talked to many that believe across the country this is the progress that we need to make." Kirby Smart said that roster management could be, in his words, quote, "nightmarish" because of this. And Brent Venables said, "I don't think there's any perfect place by any stretch, but being able to get guys in school the end of the season for 95% of college football is there. The kids have made their decisions anyway. Let's get a window that makes sense for everybody to recruit, evaluate, and still be able to get them into school." So if Brent Venables is right and the majority of kids have made their decision before the portal officially opens, then, Terry, that's simply going to mean that there's a lot of behind-the-scenes maneuvering, because you still got to get academically in. Now, look, with football players, it can be different when they go to, you know, the registrar's office.
Right.
And the admissions department, right?
Yep.
And, you know, so I do understand that accommodations can be made. But you still got to get them into school. They still need to have a schedule and all these other things. Because
here's my question real quick. If your mind's already made up before the portal opens, that doesn't mean people are tampering with you, does it? No.
I don't want to answer that question.